I think evaluation is really critical. If we do believe that human rights education is a powerful tool to realise human rights in our worlds, then we need to know whether we're doing it well. So I think it's critical that we monitor what we're doing, but we also at the end understand what impact we've had. There are many tools available to do evaluation work. The Human Rights Education Manual points to a range of those. So I would really encourage people to look at being quite creative about what they can develop in order to evaluate.
There was now the crimes against women, it is said that they are on increase. So we held a conference on some of the legislations. Even the government of India made series of legislation change in the penal code. So that is pursuant to our suggestions, and the seminar and discussion, series of discussion took place. So relating to rape and throwing acid on women, that is some of the type of crimes which is being committed in India. So there also the penal code was amended.
One of the challenges in evaluating human rights education is the challenge of measuring something in the short term that is really long term in its impact. Most evaluation takes place either at the time of a course or a human rights education activity or shortly afterwards. It's practical to do it that way, but we shouldn't stop our evaluation of a particular program on the day that it ends. We certainly need to come back 6 or 12 months later and ask the participants how they have found the usefulness of that training for the work that they've done in the period since then.
We get some feedbacks immediately after the course during the evaluation process, the good aspects and also the areas to improve. And then we revise our methodology. We also revise the content based upon these feedbacks as far as practicable, as far as possible. With long-term impact, we get lately because the participant they report back to their respective organizations and institutions, and also the areas to improve.
The National Diversity Forum is an annual coming together of different parts of New Zealand society. So that includes state sector, regional government, so local government, business, community groups, museums, libraries, different networks. So people come together to talk about, to plan, to debate, to discuss what they can do for the next year, things they can do about promoting cultural diversity. The best evaluation is still determining what are the actions that has been generated from the forum. For Māori Language Week, one of the supermarket chains labelled their food aisles or their aisles in Te Reo Māori. And that was very positive for that particular local community, which is predominantly Māori, and supporting the retention of Māori language.
Evaluation has two dimensions. The first is to make sure that each of the projects or activities we run is as successful as possible. And that means looking at what we've done and working out what was successful and what was not as a means of helping us to plan further activities. But each activity evaluation is like part of a jigsaw, part of a much bigger picture. And so we must also have that bigger picture. We want to know not just how successful a particular project is, but what contribution it makes to the success and the effectiveness of the organisation as a whole.
With one of our campaigns around bullying, which we called Back Me Up, it was a focus on young people. The whole campaign was run on Facebook. So we've run that campaign over 2 years, and it's been really successful for us. I think for us, we involved the target group in the design of it. They were involved in designing the campaign, in designing the logo, even we had them involved in the judging. The good thing of running it in over 2 years is that all the lessons we learned in the first year, we were able to follow through into the second year.
So I want to ask you to do something for me. I want you to stand up if you've been cyberbullied. If you've witnessed somebody being bullied, cyberbullied, stand up. Wow.
Being born in war and growing up in war and conflict, people get the mentality of war. So what we aim to teach children human rights is very vital to them because we can change their mindsets. You see, we had a child that had fled from home. Possibly their parents had beaten him up, and he was given to the policeman. Policeman had also abused him, and he was taken to the Human Rights Commission. He was saying that if I have the power, if I have the money, I will buy a gun, I will shoot to kill people. And this was the mentality of the child that was brought into the commission. After 1 week or so, he had learned to draw, to paint with pencil, with colors. So he had to draw, he had painted a very beautiful pigeon. We asked him that, why have you drawn this pigeon? And he told us, I wish to live in a very calm environment, and I want to work for peace. And we have the UNESCO statement that as the war starts from the minds of the men, so the peace also should start and to be constituted into the mind of the man. This is our approach, and we have got lots of good impacts, fortunately.